Hello everyone. Today we will be discussing about the backtesting of investment strategy. But before we go ahead, let me discuss with you what actually backtesting is. So let's assume you come up with an investment strategy and you are willing to put your money into that. But one of the biggest concerns that you will be having as an investor is whether that investment strategy will actually fetch you the returns. That brings us to the point of this discussion of backtesting. So, backtesting is the process of testing an investment strategy over prior period times by using the historical data. So, in simple words, you have this future idea about the investment strategy. You can use that future idea to see if in the past it could have fetched you the same returns that you are expecting on that particular strategy. So this application that we will be using today, that was developed by Professor Stemborg in the Wharton. He's a Wharton Professor of Finance. And what this basically backtester tool does is it allows you to test your strategy in a simulated environment that has all the market information available, and with that simulated environment you can reinforce your investment strategy without any real market complexities and the cost associated. So with the same strategy, with the same investment amount, you can see if that strategy is going to fetch you the returns or not. So how do we do that? How does it help you? So let's say you try to invest some money in your stocks, and after your investment period was over, you got the returns. So this is the kind of output that we get in the back tester. So you can see there's a timestamp, and this is like how the market moved throughout that period, and towards the end what was the final result. So this is the beauty of this tool, that this allows you to see over a period of time how your investment strategy would have performed had you implemented that in the past. So let's get started with this tool and see how we can backtest our strategy. Uh, just to touch base on this, so these are the different portfolios that you can create, and it will give you the information about the returns and the values on those portfolios. So that's why we need to use this tool and see how we can backtest our investment strategy before actually putting up the money into that. So now, how to do that backtesting, let's get started. So this specific tool that I'm going to use today, that is available in the words database. So this is the link you open, and then you have to log into your account using your login credentials. In the search icon, you type the backtester and click enter. So as you click enter, you can see there are a lot of links that pop up that discuss about the backtester. I click on the first link. So when you click on that, here you can see it gives you a little bit brief about the backtester. What you can do, you can design and test your own investment strategies, and what kind of controls it allows you. So you have information on that. There are three different options available on the screen: the teaching note, the slide deck, and the link to platform. So the first is the teaching note. The teaching note is a detailed document that tells you about the backtester tool, how you can set up your backtesting, and then further the details about what are the different options that you need to throw in and what are the different kinds of outputs that you will get. So this is a pretty much detailed document that you can get. Similarly, we have a slide deck. So that's the same PowerPoint format of the Word document that you have. It contains the entire information that we just read through there. So these are very good documents if you want to get detailed information about how to use that backtesting tool. These are very good resources for that. Let's get started with the final one. So click on the link to platform, and you can see this lands onto the backtester dashboard. So since we have not created any backtest, we'll click on this one. Let's create one. So here you are going to actually define your investment strategy, what you are going to invest, where do you want to invest, what could be the portfolios and stuff like that. So the first thing that you need to do is create a new backtest. You have to enter the information about the backtest. So you have to enter the name. Let's say I'll just write it trial backtest. Here's an initial investment. So whatever is your investment amount for the strategy, you need to enter that investment amount. I'll just keep it to 10,000. Begin the last day of, end the last day of. So here you need to define about the starting and ending dates of your investment strategy. So let's say I take January 2014. I'm interested in looking at last 6 years, and then end day of December 2018. So by default it is 2018. Next is the security universe. Here you need to define what kind of securities you are looking at. So basically by default, if you don't select anything from here, it will take up all the securities available. However, you can select your own screening criteria. For example, you have a different option about selecting market capitalization as a criteria for selection of securities, or you can look at book to market or earning price ratio. If you need any information on any of these parameters, you can click on this question mark and it will give you an idea about what you all need to input in this particular section. So let's say I select market capitalization as one of the parameters and I select it to 50 to 100%. So what this will do is, now it will select only those securities which have market capitalization between 50% to 100%. Then let's say I want price also, so I select price and then select it to let's say 40 to 100%. So now I have defined two specific criteria to shortlist my securities. The next step is you have to define your portfolios. So by default, Backtester will create a single portfolio according to your criteria that you have selected. Now you have different options that you can create multiple portfolios also by dividing the securities into different partitions based on the value of one or two metrics that you have defined. So if you recall in the PowerPoint, we saw this A1, B1, right? So these are the different portfolios they have created. So A1 is one partition, B1 is another partition. So A1, B2, these are different partitions. So in the words document, when I say partition, here you need to define it. So let's say my first factor is market capitalization. I want to split my portfolio based on the market capitalization as high versus low. So what I will do is I'll select partition by A. A is my first criteria, market capitalization. And partition is 2, which means I will have a portfolio with high and low partitions, high and low market capitalization. Let's say my second parameter was price. I want to screen the securities based on the price, high versus low. So I'll choose another 2, high versus low partitions. Now from here, use a single metric to create multiple portfolios. Use two metrics to create multiple portfolios and create portfolios independently. Use two metrics to create multiple portfolios. Now, how these different options will work is, let's say if you want to create your one portfolio which has both the screening criterias, versus you want to create a portfolio which has first aggregation, and then in each of the partitions you have separate partitions. So for example, I want to create two different metrics to create multiple portfolios. I want one portfolio which has higher and lower market capitalization, and in the same higher and lower market capitalization, I want to further segregate it based on the price. So high versus low price. So I'll create multiple portfolios using these two metrics, and these portfolios will be independent. Next is stocks per portfolio. You can decide the number of stocks that you want. Let's say I want to take 15 stocks in a portfolio. Then is the weight. How do you want to weight your portfolios? Is it based on the market capitalization, or you want equal weights to be assigned to the portfolios? I'll go ahead with the market capitalization. You can choose either of these options. Then you can decide if you want to rebalance your portfolios based on any number of parameters. So what should be the rebalancing frequency? Should it be never rebalanced, or do you want it to be specified? And then the resort frequency. Do you want to sort it again? So I'll keep them to default, and then I'll click on save. So once you click on save, you can see your backtest will appear in this backtester dashboard. Now in order to run the backtest, just click on this icon. It will take a couple of minutes to run this backtest. So as you can see, while it is running, all these options are not highlighted. So once your backtest is run, these options are highlighted and you can use these options. So the first is manage. It allows you to change your backtest options that you have specified. You can copy the backtest instructions or the inputs that you have entered, or you can delete the backtest. So once you have deleted it, you cannot recover that. So be very careful while using with this option. Now let's go ahead and see the output. So now you can see here we have the A1, B1, A1, B1, A1, B2. So these are representing your different portfolios. So what this A1, B1 means, So because if you recall, we have selected create multiple portfolios, and those portfolios should be created independently. Now A is representing the first criteria, that was market capitalization, and B represents your second criteria, that was the price. So based on the market capitalization, we decided two partitions for each. So A1 is the first partition and A2 is the second partition. So 1 basically represents by default in the backtester as low, and 2 represents the highest values. So portfolio A1B1 would be a portfolio with a low market capitalization and low price. A1B2 will be low market capitalization with high price. A2B1 would be high capitalization, low price, and A2B2 would be high capitalization and high price. So these are the different portfolios that are created, and here you can see you can scroll through your this whole diagram to see what are the returns and how they are varying. So for every month you will see the returns, so they are fluctuating, and then this is how finally after the period of time. So I selected from 2014 to 2018. So starting with 2014 ending till 2018, this is the final return that I will get on my portfolio. So as you can see, initial amount of investment was 10,000, and if I had invested in that portfolio after the execution of my investment strategy at the end of 2018, this is the annual return that you will get, both in terms of values as well as the returns. Now you can also see what's the cumulative returns. Those were the values as well as the returns. These are the cumulative returns on an average during the last 4 or 5 years. When you run the strategy, what would be the cumulative returns on those strategy? So you can get this information as well. And the summary data, this is really important piece of information in this. So this summary data actually summarizes based on all the portfolios and the market, what was the initial investment, what will be the ending value, and what are the returns on that, and based on that, what is the effective annual rate of return. So as you can see, if you are concerned about the effective rate of return, this third portfolio fetches the maximum return on it. And further, it also allows you to download the spreadsheet. You can download all these results and probably use them further for any other analysis that you want to do. So this is the information that we saw there. It gives you correlations, then returns by period based on like a monthly return for all the portfolios, and the market return as well, values by period, and all returns and values. So for every period, for every portfolio, what were the return and what was the value of your investment. So this is all about the backtesting tool. Thank you. If you have any questions, feel free to drop me an email. Thanks.